in the year 20XX AD. A vicious army of robots is bent on destroying the world. What else is new? And behind this destruction is... Protoman? Hello everyone, and welcome to Let's Play Megaman 5, I will say this right now, though. This is my favorite title theme in the series, without a doubt. I love the song. Anyway, let's get right on into it, shall we? And here are our 8 Robot Masters of the Week. I have always gone in this pattern, so we're starting off with Chargeman. I should probably get the Megaman and base bios up. I'll be right back. Alright, and I got them. Chargeman, an all-terrain armored transport robot. He uses coal and water as fuel to keep his costs low. Good point, he's straightforward. Bad point, bellicose attitude. I have no idea what that means. Likes past reflections and dislikes trendy fashions. Interesting. Anyway, Chargeman stage is actually the reason why I always go him first. It's actually really easy. Most of the enemies go down in one normal pellet shot. And I mean that, between the Metal trains and those little guys, there's only, there's only like 3 enemies in this stage that don't take one shot to kill. Actually, no, 4. Also, I had some real luck with life drops in this first stage here. I think I get 3 or 4 of them. I'm probably gonna need to use every single one of those because I will say right now, Mega Man 5 is the classic game I have the least experience with, even less so than 7 and 8. So you're gonna actually see me dying quite a bit more than usual. And now we're actually inside the train. And we got robotic chickens for some reason. Okay. Wait, robot chicken. Where's Seth Green? That just reminds me of Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, that end credit scene was brilliant. Actually, not end credits, post credits, sorry. End credits was a different dance entirely. The eggs they shoot out do have specific patterns to how they jump out, fall, and jump, so you can abuse that, actually. In fact, I'll say right now, Chargeman stage is the only one I've actually done a perfect run in, and that was actually on my first playthrough. Well, more accurately, I perfect run the stage, not so much the boss, because Chargeman himself isn't that hard, but he's one of the harder ones without his weakness, and even then, the weakness that he has is pretty useless. Anyway, you might see up there in that window, there's an A. And if you look on the bottom of the pause screen, you might see Megaman V standing for 5. There are 8 letters, there's 1 letter in each of the 8 main stages, and collecting them all will get you a special bonus. And as you just saw, Rush Coil is a bit different in this game. Instead of it jumping you automatically like it did in the previous games, and in the actually no, Rush Coil isn't in the next game, sorry about that. Instead of just being a jump like it was in 3 and 4, you actually have to jump off of it yourself, and I don't like that. These orange guys aren't too bad either. Oh, that was... frame drop. I don't think you missed much. I think only like 2 seconds of scrolling. And down here is what I consider the only hard enemy in the entire stage, and it's this guy. He likes to throw missiles out that go in a homing pattern around you, and it's nothing too hard, though. And now it's time for the boss. Chargeman. He only has 2 attacks, both of which he has invincibility during. That charge attack right there, which goes until, I think, right below, until it hits you, essentially. And that little steam attack, which has random patterns, although they tend to aim for you overall, I think. You can jump over him during his charge, so there's that, but you can't jump over him normally because he's just slightly too high. Or too tall, rather. Not that hard, but his ability is useless, as I'll get into in a couple minutes, because I show it off at the end of the next stage. Charge shots rip him apart, though. And actually, one thing I'll get into again momentarily is this game actually brings it, well, actually more accurately, 6 brings a couple themes back from this game, but I'll get back into that momentarily. But for beating him, we get the Charge Kick! Useless! What it does is that when you select it and you slide, you'll have a little slash animation going with your slide that'll damage enemies. Problem is, you can get hit during it. And now we're going after Waveman. And 6, by the way, what I mean is, it brings back this stage intro theme. Anyway, Waveman. Let me get that bio up. Waveman. He's not good at close-range combat. That's all it says on the site I use. Good point, he's a sentimentalist. Bad point, loves solitude. Likes diving and dislikes sludge. Huh. The beginning of his stage is really odd. The only thing that's really hard about it is that those little water puffs can blindside you. These pipes are interesting. You get sucked into them just by touching them, and they take you down to here. You preferably want to take the top one by using Rush Coil so you can get that life, but I didn't really care at this point. As far as I'm aware, these little rolling spike things that look a lot like the metal blades are completely invincible. Oh, this looks familiar. For those of you who have played Megaman 9, which was released way back in 2000... Oh god, that game is 5 years old. 2008. That hurts. This looks pretty familiar, doesn't it? That's right, Splash Woman will actually Raider reuse this gimmick. Yeah, that was tongue-twisty. And, you can jump on these small bubbles, but you can only stand on the large bubbles. You can only jump off these small ones. And now it's time for a rather unique section in the Mega Man series. An auto-scroller. Mind you, this has happened before and will happen again, but this one's kind of unique. It's kind of like the ride bikes from the X series, except it's not. Only 3 enemies in this section, which are those little life preserver guys, Sniper Joes on bikes, which can come from behind you more often than in front, and dolphins, which jump and only take 1 shot to kill. Actually, but seeing this, I just remembered, this stage would actually later show up in the Game Gear Mega Man game, which I'm not sure if I even want to touch for this channel, because I hated that game. Really bad. At least design-wise. And now it's time for a mini-boss. This octopus guy, you can only hit him on that little green jewel on his forehead, if you can call it that. Of course, I died to him. He doesn't have that much HP, because the ride bike guy, I guess it is, can only shoot normal shots. It doesn't have any charge feature. So he goes down rather quickly. And the letter for this stage is in this second section right here. You're gonna need to look out for it. It's right after 2 dolphins that are pretty much right next to each other. And it's one you can miss if you don't, well, actually, you can miss all the letters, technically, but it's one that you can miss. It's kind of hard to explain what I'm trying to say. It's one that if you miss it, you're gonna have to die and try again. Some of them aren't like that. And there it is right there, got it! Not the most hard to notice one, but it's one of them. Because if you... well, actually, no, it's not hard to notice. It's one and done if you don't die, sort of thing. And even then, you only have one opportunity to die after that section, which is right here if you don't die during the actual section itself. So be careful. Anyway, I might as well show up the charge kick. Like I mentioned earlier, your slide has a little slash animation, except you can get hit during it still. If you had invincibility frames during it, it would probably be a really good weapon, but it's not. Anyway, time for Waveman. He is a really easy boss. Only 2 attacks, really, and that's to cause this little water wave, which tends to aim for you, and after that, he'll actually shoot a... I guess that's a trident forward, and then try to jump at you. He always does this pattern, and because of it is really easy. His weakness does do a good amount of damage on him, but Charge Shot just is overall faster, I think. Although I'll admit, this fight, as you can tell from my health, did end up being a bit closer than I would have liked, but I don't care. I beat him in the end, that's all that matters to me. I don't know how that passed through the wave that he was making, but I'm glad it did. Whew. And that was Waveman stage. Pretty easy, honestly. And for beating him, we get the... I'm actually forgetting this one's name. Water Wave. This one is rather good, actually. It sends a wave of water along the ground, and it can actually destroy bullets and stuff in your way, so it's actually pretty useful. And it's also the weakness of Starman. Starman, a robot created for space exploitation that's probably supposed to be space exploration. Good point, he's a dreamer. Bad point, he's an escapologist. He likes opera, and he dislikes realist robots. So I guess he's a fan of Mulder and not Scully. The beginning of his stage is Final Fantasy VII even lighter than Mega Man Battle Network 4. And it's not that hard, honestly. His stage is pretty much the generic water level, even though it takes place in space. You have the water, low gravity kind of stuff going on. It's actually a pretty fun stage, and the music at one specific point reminds me of a song from Zelda Oracle of Ages, I think it was. You know, I know I mentioned that a couple similar thing happening twice in Battle Network 3, I think it was. But I realized just now that the Oracle games were made by Capcom, technically. Even if they were published by Nintendo, Capcom handled development, so that makes some amount of sense. Anyway, there's the letter for this stage. Fairly easy to get, just be careful not to hit the spikes. And this reminds me a lot of Bubbleman's stage, actually, from 2. Also, I love the metal helmets, space helmet guys, they're adorable. Enemies in this stage aren't really that big of a threat, honestly. Except for these missiles. The missiles have 2 ways of damaging you, technically, other than direct contact. When you kill them, or blow them up more accurately, they have debris that scatters in the 4 diagonal directions, but if they hit a wall, they just have 5 pieces of debris that fall in the 5 directions pointing downwards. And then we got this little mini-boss guy. You can only hit him in the little eye he has, but he doesn't take that much damage to kill. He's honestly really easy. Also, I like the background they got going on here. Pretty cool looking. And then we got this section. Yep. Traps. I hate it when they put trap guys like this, at least in this game, because I can never remember where they are. Mind you, I still think the most trap-heavy game like that is 9, and I don't like it for that. Don't get me wrong, 9 is still an overall fantastic game, but because of the traps, I still haven't beaten it. Well, more accurately, not because of the traps, because of the lava pillar things in the first castle stage. And we got another one of these guys. And yet again, he's no threat. And now it's time for the boss. Obviously, since I'm going in this order, Starman's weak against the water wave. And that's what it does. By the way, I like Starman's design, but his design in the Battle Network series was just weird. Look it up, it's bizarre. And it was only in a platformer, too. Starman is your generic shield Navi. Robot master for the game. He likes to jump around a lot and fire it at you, although he can also fire it from the ground. The water wave does a good amount of damage towards him, so it's pretty easy to beat him with it. Although he's also pretty easy to beat without it. In fact, a lot of at least the first 3 Robot Masters that I've faced so far are pretty easy to Mega Buster. I would say I've done a Mega Buster only run, but I've only played this game a total of 4 times. And for beating him, we actually get 2 things. What are they? Well, I can't remember the name of his normal one. I think it's the Star Crash? Yeah, the Star Crash is your shield. You can set it at enemies. And then you got the Super Arrow. The Super Arrow is kind of like the item of the game. You shoot it, and it hits a wall. And if it hits a wall, it becomes a platform you can jump off of. So that's pretty useful. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And next time on Let's Play Mega Man 5, we're heading after Gravity Man. See you guys then.